Hello everyone and welcome to Sunburned Albino lists 10 games that have super remake potential that I would be delighted were they to actually realize it. Just to be clear, I'm specifying remakes, aka not remasters, because remakes are largely better for attracting new players by basically presenting them as new IPs, and for revamping graphics and control systems so you don't feel like you're playing something anciently unintuitive, unless they mess it up somehow. Obviously a good remaster is better than a bad remake, but I'm not out here asking for bad remakes. Presented in no order. Number 1, Kingdom Hearts. Okay, this one's in order. This game needs it the most. The original Kingdom Hearts for PS2 became nearly unplayable once KH2 came out and did literally everything way better, besides arguably the self-contained world narratives. The only reason the game is still serviceable today is because the 1.5 remix put in some quality of life improvements via new abilities to help the combat be less stale, and it works to some extent, but if this game got a complete revamp, an overhaul in the KH3 engine, not only would the combat and mechanics be exquisite, the game itself would look absolutely remarkably gorgeous, and it would be a 10 out of 10, no questions asked. Number 2, Blasto. Grab 'em up, there's gonna be guts on the ceiling. I have not heard a single person talk about this PS1 classic in at least 20 years. Blasto is like if Johnny Bravo was a galactic badass. This game was super good back in the day. Great puzzles, platforming, fun weapons and power-ups, and as far as a remake is concerned, act like you're not trying to see those babes in 4K. The only thing they'd really have to do to modernize this game QOL style is to get rid of the tank controls. If this game played like Ratchet and Clank in lock strafe mode, especially if they added a weapon wheel, that'd be enough. You'd have a banger built in right to the core and you couldn't go wrong with it. Number 3, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance / Radiant Dawn. Remake them both, bundle them together, or just do Path of Radiance. Path of Radiance is the best solo Fire Emblem story ever penned. I think it's the second best game overall, second only to Three Houses just for the massive amount of content and New Game Plus replayability Three Houses has. But if you're looking for the strongest non-branching narrative and linear chapter progression, Path of Radiance can't be beat. A remake wouldn't necessarily have to change much other than the graphics. The stats and predetermined classes could remain as is. The only thing I'd maybe add in the wake of Three Houses is a better way to farm support levels and a more comprehensive New Game Plus, especially the Renown system to give you bonus items and experience in subsequent playthroughs. Ike fights for his friends, and I fight for this game to come back. Number 4, Crash Bash. This was a super fun party game. The campaign was meaty and completionistic and could even be played co-op, and the games themselves were just good, namely Crash Ball and Crate Crush. A remake could bring all of this into the online era with online multiplayer, as well as add new types of games and new characters. I've wanted this since before Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled was announced. I thought a Crash Bash remake would have been a fantastic bundle thing to add to that, but a standalone release at this stage is still something I'm all about, so do it! Number 5, ModNation Racers. Hello, may I introduce you to the best racing game ever made? How about the best racing game ever remade next? Most people have never heard of this, but ModNation Racers is the most fun I ever had in a racing game, and the best I ever was at one. If you looked at leaderboards, my name was on the first page, and the reason I got so into it was not only because the racing itself feels so incredible, with terrific mechanics like drifting and aerial tricks to get boost, and then boost being used for both speed and shielding attacks, but also because the kart and character customization was second to none, with a track editor to boot. This game's heyday was amazing online. Then the same developers released Little Big Planet Karting, which killed both games dead on the spot since it split the player base that already barely existed because of a game that never needed to exist in the first place. Then the studio closed down, I think, so somebody's got to be sitting on that IP somewhere. Bring back ModNation Racers. Nintendo would rather cut off their own dingus than release Mario Kart 9, and Crash Nitro Fueled is something I haven't thought of in years. The world needs the best kart racer nobody's heard of back in business to give it the reception it always deserved. Number 6, Might and Magic Clash of Heroes. Apparently this is a spin-off to a series that has like 900 entries in it. I have no idea. Might and Magic was not something I was familiar with until this game came along, and frankly I'm still not, other than how incredible Clash of Heroes mechanics are. This turn-based, sort of Match 3-esque, but with compelling strategic twists, puzzle combat system is something I had never seen before and haven't seen since. Not like this. It is so much fun, so satisfying, and so broken some of the artifact and unit combos can be, but you can turn artifacts off anyway. This particular subgenre is untapped. There should be so many more games like this, and there just aren't. This game should literally be to puzzle games what Dark Souls is to action games, the catalyst for a whole new branch of Clash-likes that follow this blueprint of matching same color units to create charging formations, wall balls, elites, and champions that go off in a set number of turns. Remake this, or just put this puzzle combat in another game. Another 10 games. I'll play all of them. The campaign was kind of whatever, and some of the unit types are just worthless, but a game like this done to perfection would be perfect. Number 7, Yu-Gi-Oh! Capsule Monster Coliseum. Take Yu-Gi-Oh! And make it sort of like Fire Emblem, is basically the concept of this PS2 gem. Your monsters go on the board, you summon them, you spend action points to move and attack with them, and these little figurines get blown to pieces. Something I like about this game is that literally every monster is useful. 2 steel scorpions can demolish 1 blue eyes white dragon, thanks to type advantages and the overall utility of quantity over quality. That's not to say the canonically strong monsters can't wreck some ass, but they cost more to move around and aren't a guaranteed victory. Strategy is key. Let's see that remake with some of the newer iterations of monsters. I would kill for a Capsule Monsters game that spanned every generation like Legacy of the Duelist does. Number 8, Freekstyle. Another majorly underestimated racing game in my estimation. Freekstyle's motocross was fast, ridiculous, and stylish, with you jumping through flaming hoops and over the top of launching rockets, pulling off dozens of tricks in midair to earn boosts, winning races in the campaign to unlock new riders and bikes and level up your stats. I remember maxing out almost every character in the game. Sure, it was in a period of growing up where you basically had to play the hell out of every game you had because you couldn't buy other ones too often, but I enjoyed it the whole time. Even like 15 years later, some of those songs are still stuck in my head. They just never left. Remake this game with online multiplayer. Let's see it. Although honestly, I don't even need it because it'd be fine enough to get lost in the single player again. Number 9 and 10, Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. Do it, I dare you. Remake the best spin-off Pokemon games in history, or at least XD is. Pokemon Coliseum is a crock of shit compared to its sequel, and the only reason that's true is because the Pokemon selection is garbage, because the game only came out so you could transfer Gen 2 Pokemon to your Rubies and Sapphires through the GameCube GBA connection, so almost every Shadow Pokemon in Coliseum is Gen 2, and almost every Pokemon in Gen 2 is not very good at battling, at least until Gen 4 revamped the battle system and retroactively made some of them decent, like Sneasel. So since that's really the only issue besides it not being current gen, remake the games and make them current gen and put current gen Pokemon in there, boom, sell millions of copies overnight, easy. Nintendo, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to give you more ways to print money. Remake Coliseum and Gale of Darkness. Coliseum needs it the most, but current gen Gale of Darkness would be epic beyond belief too. Or just make a damn sequel. Another tremendous money printer idea right there. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitch and Twitter at Sunburned Albino, and watch every single one of my other videos in a row without stopping, and I will see you guys next time.